Now, this is a physical component. It's going to make sense to you. I mean, it's just logical, right? How do you go from making $5,000 a month to making $50,000 a month, which is 10 times the amount? Well, you get 10 times the traffic. Okay? Simple as that. More links. Focus on link building. Getting links back to your website. Focus on free traffic generation tactics. Things like article marketing, forum posting, social networking. Focus on paid traffic techniques. Get on Google and really master it and know what you spend more on Google. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you get a system going, I told my wife this one time because she could not believe what I was spending on Google every day. And I told her, well, I spend more and I make more. And she still couldn't understand. I can't understand. You're just wasting all that money. Well, here's the facts. If I can spend $500 on Google in one day and I can sell $1,500 worth of product, then I just netted $1,000. Well, if as long as the traffic is there, as long as the search volume is there, if I can spend $1,000 on Google, that means I'm going to double my sales. So I'm going to sell $3,000 and I'm going to net $2,000. So if you're to ask me, do I think it's a waste of money to, spend $1,000 on Google? I'm going to say, no way. If I have the money, I'm going to spend $2,000 on Google. Why? Because I make it back. I make 3 times whatever I spend. So get yourself a successful campaign on Google, and once it's successful, you ramp it up and you spend some more money. More products. Definitely that's a way to scale things up, is to have additional products to offer, especially when we're talking about the back end and the upsells, and even, after the fact. Let's say in this particular niche, people buy stuff from you, you make some money, reinvest that money, get a killer product made. And then what do? You turn around to those people that bought from you in the past and you say, hey, I've got a new product. It's fantastic. I think you're going to love it. That's definitely a way to start making some more money. Also, more spending in general. Let's say not just Google pay-per-click, but advertising and offline sources. Believe it or not, offline advertising is getting really big nowadays. Postcards, stuff like that. Even you can get some phone services that'll go around and call people, and that's a big way to make some money. I know people that are making a killing, like $100,000 a month, because of that phone stuff. And that's just a service that they will go around and they'll call, and they have an automated message that plays, and it says, if you're interested, press 1 or whatever. And when they press 1, a live operator comes on and is really, really, really good at closing a sale, and they get a commission. It's just like an affiliate thing, but it works. It works really good. More resources. When I hired somebody, well, let me tell you this. You start out, you're making $5,000 a month. Okay, next month you go to 8, then you go to 12. My income started to double almost every month, because I was focusing and I was getting better at what I was doing, and I was managing better, and I hired somebody to do some of the more mundane tasks. That freed me up to do the things that were more fun, the things that I enjoyed, and the things that were more profitable. Before you know it, we're talking 4 to 5 months. If you hustle and you push yourself, you can easily go from $5K a month to like $25K a month. And then where are you going to go after that? You're just going to do more of the same. The key, though, is focus. So you say, okay, this week, I am going to focus my efforts on article marketing. And here's how you do this, okay? You say, I'm going to focus my efforts on article marketing. So that week, you start doing more article marketing. You write like 3 or 4 articles a day. You're posting those every single day. Depends on how good of a writer are you. I can do about 10 articles in a day if I really feel like it. Well, once you get a system that's working really good, and you realize, okay, this is an effective source of traffic, then what do? You outsource. You get somebody else to do that, and you pay them to consistently utilize that source. If, for example, you can do 10 articles a day, and you find out that from those 10 articles a day, you can make $500 a day in sales. Well, if you can pay somebody $150 a day to do that, guess what? It's totally worth it. So pay them, let them do it, and you get that thing running, and you just, leave it go, let it go. And then you go out and you focus on something else. While that's going, you are now managing that person that's writing the articles for you. You focus on a different tactic. Maybe you're going to do some forum posting or some blogging. Whatever it is, you figure it out, you're doing it, you make it work, and you figure out how much by you hacking away at it for a week. How much do you actually make off of that? And that's where it comes down to the tracking, right? You got to be able to track all the sources of traffic. But if I can find out that I make $1,000 in a week from one specific traffic source, then I'm going to go out and pay somebody $300 or $400 if I have to do that for me. And then I don't have to do it. I just manage that person and I move on to the next source of traffic. And that's how we do this. We knock it out very slowly, focusing on a specific object, a target, a goal, a strategy. Once we knock it out, we move on to the next thing. Consistent list building. This is another thing that I find beginners really can't understand. If you're, while you're building your list, you are building a wall. See this little diagram that I put here? I put that there on purpose. You're building a wall that is either going to keep people in or it's going to keep them out. Your list building is that critical. The way that you do it. You want to develop high conversion opt-in pages so that you know if I point traffic to this page, they're going to opt in. Okay, but once they get in, you want to focus on creating a relationship, not making a sale. That's one thing that I see beginner marketers do, and even some veteran marketers, they're just shooting for sheer volume, so they're able to get away with it. But what you want to do is not go for a hard sell. Develop a relationship. Don't be constantly trying to sell these people something. If every email that they get from you is another offer that you're promoting for somebody else, sure, you're going to get some people click on it and you'll make a little bit of money. But they're not going to be as responsive as they could be, and you're really doing more work than you need to make the same amount of money. If you're wanting to do this long term, again, you want to give them something that's going to make them stay on your list. And then when you do offer them something to sell, they're going to be much more responsive. Plus, you're going to have a huge list. Let's say you're getting 1,000 leads a month on your list. And that's a pretty small number, right? So you're getting 1,000 leads per month. If you constantly are nailing them with affiliate offers, you're going to get a pretty big unsubscribe rate. So people say, I don't want to be on this list anymore. He's always marketing to me. Well, so let's say after 6 months, you're not going to have 6,000 people on your list. You're going to have like 3,000 because so many people opt out. Well, sure, you can send them the stuff and, they will buy on occasion. But how much more powerful would it be if you are offering them something that will make them stay on your list? Maybe whether it's entertainment or it's real helpful knowledge, give them a reason to not want to go. Okay, it's just like marketing with Twitter, for example. If you just send people stuff to buy on Twitter, they don't follow you for very long. Same thing with your opt-in list. Give them something that is going to make them stay. And at the end of the 6 months, maybe you've got like 5,800 people on your list. as opposed to just having 3,000 because you gave them something valuable. Your list will continue to grow, and a big list means big money, because I would rather send out something that I'm really standing behind and I've got 5,800 people to market to, then send out all these chintzy little cheesy things that I'm going to be able to market to just 3,000 because everybody opted out because that's all I ever do, let alone the rate of attention that you're going to get. You're marketing to 3,800 people or 3,000 people that hardly ever listen to you anyway because you're always sending them stuff to buy. Or you're marketing to 5,800 people that pay attention because everything you send them is like helpful information. And of course, they're going to pay attention to you when you send that link. Okay, very, very critical. Mind mapping. This is a big one. This is so big, in fact, that I'm probably going to, if I have time at the end of this, I'm going to do a quick tutorial just to show you how this works, because mind mapping is totally powerful. Here is a free mind mapping program that you can get. There are some paid ones. They're pretty expensive. This is a free one, and it works exceptionally. I even use this. I could afford to even buy one of the other ones, but I like this one so much, I just use it. In your mind, think about this. What are you building? Are you building a $5,000 a month business, or are you building a $50,000 a month business? Because guess what? Wherever you want to go, wherever you plan to do, that's what you're going to get. So from the beginning, if you plan to build a $50,000 a month business, that's what you're going to get. If you, sure, there are those success stories where people are like, I just started doing this in my garage. It was a hobby, and next thing I knew, like, I was getting $200,000 in sales every month. Yeah, that does happen, but it's a fluke, okay? If you want to control it, then you have to do the planning from the very beginning. If you're happy with $5,000 a month, then that's fine. That's probably all you're going to make. But if you want that $50,000 a month business, you want to plan for it from the beginning. Create phases and goals, and you do this with the mind mapping software. What I really love about this is that you start out, when you do the mind mapping, you start out with an idea, and you would be surprised the difficulties that you overcome just because of the things that come into your mind as you see it unfold visually. You start getting ideas, things come up. You solve problems before they ever even come up in the real world because you anticipated it, because you drew it out and you thought about things. You knew what a problem was going to come up, and you've conquered the problem, and you know how you're going to deal with it before you even get to it. Plus, you have a greater ability to focus. I can illustrate this real simple and easy how powerful this is. How many of you know that if you have like some things that you need to do, if you just go through your day haphazard and try to get things done, you're going to get a very limited number of things accomplished. But if you make yourself a to-do list, then what happens? Not only do you have, like, okay, this is what I'm going to conquer today, but then as you do it, you scratch something off. Every time you scratch something off, what happens to your self-esteem? What happens to your motivation? You're like, yes, I conquered that one. I'm ready for the next one. Every time you do that, and when you start, you could start out with like 10 things on your list for the day. And it's like, once you get to 5, you're like, I am halfway done, and it's like not even 10 o'clock. And you're like ready to go, and you're wanting to conquer the next one. You get all your stuff done, and you feel so good because you got everything done on your to-do list. Well, it's the same kind of thing with the mind mapping. You're going to set yourself goals. You're going to create phases of your growing your business. And as you get those done, you want to reward yourself. Maybe like I've got a goal. I haven't actually set it. It's just kind of in the back of my mind, and I'm going to probably do it later today, as a matter of fact. There's this new guitar that I'm wanting to get. It's a resonator guitar, and it's all metal. It's beautiful, and it's a little bit expensive, but I'm going to reward myself with that by setting a goal and attaining it. And the reason that I say that I haven't done this yet is because I was kind of looking to get the guitar, and I could just go out and buy the guitar, right? But what I want to do is instead, I want to use it as a reward. So I'm going to find a goal that I want to set in my business. I'm going to set that goal, and then once I attain the goal, then I'm going to reward myself with buying the guitar. That's the way it works. You make this fun, and you give yourself like a reason to push. That is what makes this a very, very successful way to tackle things.